Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3.
Okay, IT folks are all set. Everybody ready? I am. All right, I'm going to go ahead and call our closed session to order. It is Wednesday, April 21st on 2021, and it is 5:30 on the nose. So, Madam Clerk, are there any requests to speak on our closed session items this evening?
No, there are no requests to speak.
Thank you very much. So we will go ahead and recess to closed session now. Thank you. Ron, are we good? Okay. Council members, everybody's ready? Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started with our regular city council meeting. Today is Wednesday, April 21st, 2021, and it is 6 p.m. on the nose. We have 6-foot distancing between the council members and plexiglass dividers. So if you're comfortable to remove your masks, you may. And I'm going to go ahead and call our meeting to order. And Madam Clerk, actually, Mr. City Attorney, do you have anything to report out of our closed session?
No, Mayor, there was a good and hearty discussion tonight, but nothing to report.
Nothing to report. Thank you very much. And then, so Madam Clerk, if actually, let me read this. I do see a note here. This is for anyone who's watching. So starting this week, the City Council invites the public to attend meetings in person with limited seating and an unlimited number for persons' public comments. For information on how to reserve a seat for future meetings or how to sign up for in-person public comments, please visit the city's website. That is cityofmenifee.us. Click on the agenda icon. For anyone who's watching this meeting at home, if you'd like to provide public comments, you must register to speak by emailing, and that email address is publiccomments@cityofmenifee.us. Prior to the item being heard, be sure to identify which item you'd like to speak on. And when you do so, you'll receive instructions on how to participate during the meeting. So with that being read, Madam Clerk, would you mind calling roll this evening?
Yes, Your Honor. Councilmember Dynas?
Here.
Councilmember Carwin?
Here.
Councilmember Leesmeyer?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Sobek? Here. And Mayor Zimmerman.
And I'm here, thank you. So we are now on item 3. This is Words of Inspiration and item 3.1. And I am pleased to welcome the pastor of the View Church in Sun City, community of Menifee, and that is Pastor Greg Perkins, good friend of ours and excellent congregation over there. And we're just pleased to have you join us, Pastor Perkins. Thank you for coming tonight to give our invocation.
Thank you to Mayor Zimmerman and to Mayor Pro Tem Sobek, to the council. Good evening. Would you bow your heads with me for just one moment? Dear wise and loving Father, first let me say thank you on behalf of all who are gathered here today. Thank you for your many and abundant blessings. Thank you for life itself, for the measure of health we need to fulfill our callings, for sustenance and for friendships. Thank you for the ability to be involved in youthful work and for the honor of bearing appropriate responsibilities. Thanks as well for the freedom to embrace you and the freedom to live out our faith. Thank you for loving us even so, out of your boundless and gracious nature. God, in Scripture you have said that citizens ought to obey the governing authorities, since you have established those very authorities to promote peace and order and justice. Therefore, I pray for our mayor, our council, and for the other city leaders. I'm asking that you would graciously grant them wisdom to govern, a sense of the welfare and true needs of our people and citizens, a keen thirst for justice and rightness, confidence in what is good and fitting, the ability to work together in harmony even when there is honest disagreement, personal peace in their lives, and joy in every task. I pray for the agenda set before them today. Please give an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work in our great city. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for taking the time and being here this evening, Pastor. All right, we are now going to move to item 4, Pledge of Allegiance. And in our presence, we have Mr. Don Vesey, who's a former planning commissioner all the way back to 2009. So, Don, if you wouldn't mind leading us in the flag salute, if we'd all stand, please.
Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Don. All right. We are now on item 5, and this is presentations. Our first presentation is 5.1. This is a street light project presentation, and I'm going to just turn it over to the city manager to introduce our speakers this evening.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. We have a presentation today for you. I think we're going to invite our WRCAR partners. But first, I'd like to invite Imelda Huerta, our management analyst, to introduce the project for us.
All right, welcome, Ms. Huerta.
Thank you so much. Super excited to present on the streetlights project with you all. Of course, this wouldn't have been possible without your support, and of course, the city manager team. And just wanted to note that the city manager's team, we did work closely with Public Works and Engineering and Finance to make sure this project was completed, and we also worked closely with WRCOG. As Armando mentioned, we do have Daniel Soltero, Senior Analyst with WRCOG here today that will be presenting with me for this presentation.
Hey, welcome, Mr. Soltero. We appreciate you joining us.
Good afternoon, Mayor and members of the City Council.
Yes, and
It is good to be here.
There we go.
So I'll start with a little bit of background on the Regional Streetlight Program. In 2014, WRCOG's member agencies approached WRCOG regarding rising streetlight costs and the inability to control those increased costs. Later that year, the WRCOG Executive Committee directed staff to develop a framework that would allow jurisdictions to purchase their streetlights and lower their utility bills. Once purchased, the streetlight lamps would be retrofit to LED, and the maintenance program would be administered under the WRCOG program. The major objectives of the program include saving energy, helping jurisdictions lower their utility bills, enhance public safety, as well as create smart city and revenue-generating opportunities. So the program spans 11 jurisdictions in the Western Riverside County region. And what this means is that overall, there were over 50,000 streetlights retrofit to LED under the program. This regional project was completed in fall 2020, and the new LED lamps adhere to a variety of guidelines. Over the years that we developed, utilizing public input in a HEMT demonstration area, we also invited a variety of council members, public safety staff, city staff, as well as amateur astronomers. A few of you may have participated in that and may remember the streetlight tours that we held at night to go see the variety of LED technologies. And from this public input, we were able to create guidelines where the new LEDs adhere to the American Medical Association recommendations for LED lighting, in which the color temperature is recommended to be at 3000 K or less. The new LEDs also provide true color perception. So I'll show a few pictures later about that, but in essentially, under the new LED lamps, you are able to perceive true color as opposed to the old lamps where a lot of the colors were washed out. And of course, the new LED lamps do adhere to the Mount Palomar Observatory guidelines by utilizing LED fixtures to mitigate light pollution. Overall, this program will help the region save over $70 million over 20 years.
Okay, thank you. Just a quick background. On March 7th, 2018, City Council approved the purchase and sales agreement with SCE. In October 17th, 2018, staff presented information to City Council regarding the purchase of SCE streetlights and retrofitting them with LED fixtures. And on June 19th of 2019, City Council adopted Resolution 19-810. This approved agreements and financing with Bank of America Leasing and Capital, LLC, and Wilmington Trust National Association to purchase the retrofit of the streetlights. We also entered into agreement with WRCOG at this time, and a total of 6,569 streetlights were acquired. Of course, WRCOG has been an essential partner in this project as well as other projects. They have assisted every step of the way, which has allowed this streetlight acquisition and retrofit project to not only be implemented, but to be successful as well. The administrative support has allowed city staff to complete the financing documents on time, assist with presentations, assist review with all the project phases with SCE, coordinate fixture orders, delivery, implementation, ensure that the acquisition of the streetlight transition went smoothly, and they have assisted with various other financial documents, including agreements, disbursement forms, etc. And currently, they're also helping with some smart city research and support. So just a brief timeline on the retrofit project. On March 15th of last year, the installation began. In April 15th of last year, City Council approved an appropriation of $100,000 to address an escrow shortfall that we had. On June 25th of 2020, the completion of 6,470 streetlight fixtures were converted to LED, and the retagging of poles to a Menifee inventory system concluded. And in the summer of 2020, the certificate of final completion and acceptance of the streetlight LED retrofit installation was signed. Additionally, in December of last year, there were additional poles acquired. And this was outside of the project. There were about 37 additional poles that we found throughout the city that had not been retrofitted. So this brought the total increase of poles acquired to 6,588. So just a quick breakdown of the savings for the city of Menifee. The estimated annual savings in annual billings is $816,969. This is a 71% reduction in annual utility costs. There is also an estimated 1.9 million kilowatts per hour annual energy savings, or a 60% reduction in annual kilowatts per hour. This is enough energy savings to provide electricity to 228 homes per year, and it also reduces greenhouse gas emissions by 1,349 metric tons of CO2 equivalent annually. This next slide just shows a graphic of the savings. As you can see, there's a huge difference between the pre-retrofit annual bill and the post-retrofit annual bill. There's a significant decrease in utility costs and energy usage. So some of the benefits of the new LED fixtures are, they are substantially more energy efficient. They have a longer lifespan than the previous sodium lamps. They require less maintenance, and they provide additional benefits such as reduced light pollution and improved color perception for residents. Additionally, staff did receive positive feedback from many residents regarding the new lights. And overall, over the 20-year time frame, there is an estimated net savings of $8 million, and of course, it opens up opportunities for smart cities. And then before I hand it back to Daniel, again, I just want to thank WRCOG for their awesome partnership. Also wanted to take a moment to thank Siemens admin and installation staff for allowing the project and the installation to go smoothly. And also SCE, California Electric Supply, and of course, the city of Temecula, who allowed us to store our fixtures during the project and delivery. And I will hand it back to Daniel.
Thank you, Imelda. So as mentioned throughout the presentation, quite a substantial difference in the in neighborhood appearance as well as the overall lighting with the new LED streetlights. On the left, you'll see the older lamps that used to exist in the neighborhoods, low pressure sodium. And on the right, you'll see the new LED streetlights lighting. Color perception is one of the most noticeable differences, as you can see with the picture of the gum packet there. And also increased roadway visibility is also one of the major benefits. This picture here shows that the dark areas on the left are substantially decreased, and therefore noting for increased roadway visibility. So greater coverage of the roadway with the LEDs. And as part of the project to showcase how we mitigated light pollution, we actually had a contractor fly over a few areas where the LED retrofit was completed. This picture here shows the city of Temecula near wine country. Above you can see the older street lights, and on the bottom is the LED. The next picture showed a little more clearly, but essentially what this is trying to show is with the older lamps, if you look closely, there are these bright spots or orbs that are located where the street lights are. And that's indicative of light pollution as light is being shot upward into the sky. And with these next pictures, this is an area a little closer. This is in Lake Elsinore. The old lamps you'll see here, this is a bigger picture. You can actually see the orbs where the street lights are, so there's light pollution. And afterward, once the LED installation was completed, those orbs are no longer there. And also you can see that the streets are much more illuminated with the LED street lights. And so by utilizing eligible LED fixtures and with the city's advocacy, WRCOG was able to secure an LED rebate for the city of Menifee. And with the 6,470 streetlights that were retrofitted to the project, WRCOG was able to secure a rebate for the city of Menifee in the amount of $534,421. And so this is a substantial rebate coming back to the city as part of the project. And this is actually something that we secured with the city's advocacy as well as the subregion at a time when these rebates are being eliminated. So we're very happy to present that here to the city. We really could not have done that without the city's leadership, city council, and city staff over the years in developing the project. We're very appreciative of your participation in the program, and congratulations for the rebate.
Thank you.
And with that, that concludes our presentation. Are there any questions?
Council members, any questions, comments?
I have,
Go ahead.
when we went forward with this program, we issued taxable bonds for the purpose of being able to rent out space on the light post to help recoup some costs. Where do we stand on that? Have we actually making any money off of being able to have some company or communication company or anything put their equipment on the light post?
So I'm gonna answer that, council member. We have not. We tied this effort to the Smart Cities initiative that we're thinking of instituting pretty soon here. But with the COVID situation, things have really changed a little bit. We're still thinking about negotiating with probable companies that utilize technology to, telephone or internet and things like that, so that we can make our city more broadband accessible. So, but we haven't been able to do that because of COVID. And the taxable bond payments are being done by recuperated. The payments are being done by the savings amount that we're achieving. So it's kind of a wash for us. We don't have to spend money out of anywhere to.
Right, but still, I mean, if we get a communications,
Right.
company to do that, we realize more savings because we'd have offset the debt service. So hopefully after this is behind us, we can, get moving on that.
And if I may add to that, WRCOG is also moving forward with a smart cities plan. The city of Menifee is interested and I believe is participating in that effort. We are going to be looking at the best utilizations for each city for their streetlights. So whether that's an economic use, as you mentioned, by renting out space on the poles, whether this is environmental, so you can attach sensors to streetlights that may be able to increase level of service by monitoring air quality, and also public safety utilizations as well. So we are moving forward with this initiative at WRCOG, and as part of that, we are including the city of Menifee, and we should be able to have some better responses for you later this year as that plan is developed.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mayor Pro Tem Sobek.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you for your presentation. This is exciting to have it come back after going through the process and voting on it, and then to see that it's truly a cost savings and a benefit to our city. I do have a question about the poles. So I know that sometimes a pole will get hit, knocked over. We are now responsible for those replacement of those poles, and just wondering if that was thought about in the WRCOG plan. Will the cities, through WRCOG, I'm sure all cities get lost poles. So is there an opportunity where we come together to order poles so we get them for a cheaper rate?
Yes, that is correct. So it sounds like there might have been two questions there. Correct. The city is now responsible for street light poles. If it is one of the street lights that were purchased through the program, or one of the previously city-owned street lights, if it is knocked down, it is the city responsibility. Through the street light program, knockdowns are considered an extraordinary maintenance, and so those are addressed on a case-by-case basis, and thus could not be included or estimated in the cash flow assessment that we did. As part of the purchasing the poles, there is opportunity to come together with various cities to purchase a local stock, for example, and host them locally. So that is an option we can do. But as of right now, the poles are being procured on a case-by-case basis as the knockdowns occur.
Okay, so maybe I would ask staff, is this something we're looking at?
Yes, it is. And so we have been working on a program to try to recuperate the cost of accidents. A lot of these poles are knocked down by accidents, cars going too fast, getting, accidents. And our risk manager is developing a plan to make sure that we have not only our public works department, but our police department, make sure that we get information from those involved parties so that we can try to recoup from their insurance company to pay for the replacement. But in the event of not being able to do that, then we would be able to look at our fund balance for that particular account to replace that pole.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions, comments? Thank you both for being here. We
Nope.
appreciate the update, and I think there's one more thing we're gonna do, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as part of the presentations, we do bring along a giant check for a photo opportunity.
Nice.
And so if I may invite perhaps the mayor, any
City
interested
council.
council members
welcome.
who would like to come down and take a picture with us, as well as the city manager and staff.
Yes.
Of course, if anyone does not feel comfortable, you're free to do as you please.
Yes, thank you. Yes, so we can have Alan and Margarita and Rochelle as well, since they were heavily involved with the project, and Jeff, of course.
Well, that was nice. All right, let's move now to our next item is 5.2. This is our business spotlight. Tonight, we're going to be spotlighting Shoot Systems. And I'm going to call on our Economic Development Director, Miss Gina Gonzalez, to introduce our business spotlight in the video this evening.
Thank you, Mayor, council members, and guests. Gina Gonzalez, Economic Development Department, here tonight to present our wonderful business spotlight of the month. This month is no other than Shoot Systems. And just a little bit about the Spotlight program for those that may be unfamiliar, but this is our free business recognition program designed to create awareness about the variety of our local businesses and their contributions to our beautiful community and our region. And with Shoot Systems, I wanted to tell a little bit about them. Shoot Systems is a Menifee manufacturer. They've located here just about 24 months ago. They have a design studio, and they manufacture high quality laundry and trash chutes, and they've been serving our southwest United States for over the past 30 years, believe it or not. And they're only like one of two that actually produce what they do. And they've recently moved to Menifee on the southern end of our city in the Southern Gateway, and they're part of Commerce Point. We're very proud of them. And together they have provided over 25 manufacturing jobs to the city with plans of expansion. As one of Menifee's thriving manufacturing companies, Shoot Systems is being recognized tonight to cultivate the industry, and with Menifee being one of our target industries with our comprehensive economic development strategy with our SEDS, concentrating on manufacturing. So we're extremely proud of our manufacturers here, and they produce high quality jobs in our region. So with that, I'd like to first showcase Shoot Systems' 30-second free video that we collaborated with to promote our businesses. So if we can roll the film.
For over 30 years, Shoot Systems has been a trusted partner in various kinds of chutes. We offer high-quality laundry and trash chute systems at a fair price and serve the southwestern United States. With an impeccable safety record and attention to detail, we deliver exactly what we promise. We work closely with our clients and their subcontractors to ensure an on-time delivery that works best with their schedule. Shoot Systems, high-quality chutes at an affordable price.
Thank you. So I just wanted to mention that they provide chutes for our hotels, hospitals, nursing homes. Not only that, but they're also a great partner when it comes to our youth and providing opportunities for manufacturing and what does exactly a manufacturer do? What kind of jobs can I do? And they're partnering with us to provide tours of their facility and partnering with the college. And Mr. Whitaker, he is 100% all Menifee. Not only that, he's a resident of Menifee, and I tell you, if there's not a bigger cheerleader, I don't know who. But also, I just wanted to thank our city council for honoring Shoot Systems with us and attending. And we have our photo, because as you know, with social distancing and what's going on, we did things a little bit different until we can get back to normal. But we had the mayor and councilmember Dinas attend with Mr. Whitaker and presented him with this honor. And he gave us a great tour. And if the council doesn't have anything else that they want to add, we have Mr. Whitaker on the phone tonight virtually.
Excellent. Council members, did you want to share anything, or should we see if we can get Dick Whitaker to join us this evening? Do we have him, Ron? No. Okay.
We don't have him.
No. Well, I'll do a helpless plug for him. He did say that he's looking for an estimator. He's always looking for jobs. So if there's an estimator that's out there, he said, you know what, look him up. He is looking to hire somebody. So if you're out there and you're the right candidate and you love Menifee, please look up Shoot Systems.
Everything you said about Mr. Whitaker is correct. He's supportive of the community, and he's hiring people here. And we could use about 10 more businesses just like him as soon as we can. So anyway, it was a joy to spend some time with him. And Councilman Dinas was there, and he's very professional and very pleasant person. So congratulations to them as the business spotlight for this month. Yeah.
Thank you to the council again.
All right. We're ready to move on. Let's go. Thank you, Gina. We're going to now move to item 6. This is our agenda approval. Madam Clerk, do we have any modifications to tonight's agenda?
There are no modifications, Mayor, but I did want to let the council know that there are some items in your red folder for item 10.5, 10.6, and 10.7 with some updates.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. So council members all in favor of agenda approval, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, our agenda is approved, so we'll move to item 7. Please bear with me. I'm going to read a couple of paragraphs here. This is public comments for non-agendized items. This is the time for members of the public to address the council about items that are not listed on the agenda. The Brown Act limits the council's ability to respond to comments on non-agendized matters at the time those comments are made. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes on any single item. Please submit a request to comment to publiccomments@cityofmenifee.us. And starting this week, the City Council invites the public to attend meetings in person with limited seating and an unlimited number for in-person public comments. For information on how to reserve a seat for future meetings or how to sign up for in-person public comments, please visit the city's website, which is cityofmenifee.us, and you click on the agenda, on the icon that's called Agenda. So for anyone who's watching the meeting, if you're at home and you'd like to provide public comments, please register to speak by emailing publiccomments@cityofmenifee.us prior to the item being heard. And be sure to identify which item that you want to speak on, and you'll be given instructions at that point. So with all that being said, Madam Clerk, please don't tell me we don't have any public comment. Do we have any?
We do have a couple. First, I'll ask if IT has Don Slater. I don't think I heard back from him, but no, he's not on. Okay. Then next, I'll call up Stephen Garrison to the podium.
Welcome, Mr. Garrison.
Good evening, council members and mayors. Is this off?
We'll get our IT folks to help you right there. Make sure it's on. And then you might need to speak.
Thank you.
There you go.
I'm here because I'm concerned and frustrated with the hot air balloons going over the Menifee Incorporation. They have gone hog wild, and I think they're just completely out of FAA standards, because the FAA cannot be contacted because of COVID. I've had numerous accounts. I called the non-emergency number for the police and discussed it with them several times, and they can't do anything until we get a ordinance and or something that we can cite these people, because they're taking off in areas within Menifee and public lands. And my friend, he lives 2 miles away, was woken up on 6 o'clock in the morning on one of his days off, and believe me, he was pissed. And he told me that this area that they took off was Menifee, and they're doing it without any forewarning. They're just popping up everywhere. And I've seen parachutists jump out of a hot air balloon down at Watkins and Menifee. And there's 2 sets of transmission lines going southwest to northeast. And between them, and there's a east and west transmission line right in front of my property. And I've got a picture of a balloon landing in front of it. I mean, it's just, I'm looking at all my dog pictures first. I have a kennel, and they go immediately into chaos when they hear those balloons going over. My request is that we find some kind of way to cite them, or have a police officer spot them and arrive there without me having to call, and give them a ticket for not only endangering, their own commercial people, but the lives and residents here, and they're a fire hazard. Where they land is dry, grassy areas, and
10 seconds left.
yes. And these balloons are just out of context with the residents in the community.
Okay.
I had a picture of it, but there's a transmission line in front of my house, and the balloon is right there somewhere. You can't find it, but
Your time is up.
okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you coming this evening and sharing your concern there.
Done, thank you.
Yeah. All right, Madam Clerk, do we have another speaker?
There are no other requests to speak.
All right, and did we receive any emailed public comments?
No.
Okay.
No other public comment.
All right, thank you. All right, so we will now move to our next agenda item, and that is council member updates and comments. And as we usually do, I'll start on my right, which is Councilman Carwin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I want to say welcome to members of the public. This is the first time I have sat in this chair with members of the public here, so it's fantastic to see. I'm glad we're able to get folks back into the chambers with us. So nice to meet you all. My name is Bob Carwin, in case you don't remember from your ballot. I got to spend a lot of time with our business leaders over the last couple of weeks. I attended a meeting of our Rotary Club where the speaker happened to be our Planning Commission Chairman, Ben Diedrich, who walked all of our business leaders through the process of the Planning Commission and what they do and how they recommend to us and all that kind of process. It was great to have the opportunity to educate the public on what the Planning Commission actually does, the nuts and bolts. So that was fun to do that. And I attended with the mayor and our city manager and chief of police a town hall over the telephone for the Sun City Civic Association residents. Folks sent in questions, and we were able to answer them directly to the public. One of the frustrations we've had is reaching out directly to the public. Not everybody goes to Facebook every day or goes to the city website. We used to be able to go and bang on doors and have town hall meetings. So reaching people personally has been difficult. So this was a nice way to get that rolling, and I think we had a pretty good time doing that. I participated as a judge in the quick pitch competition, which, if you're not familiar with it, it's like a Shark Tank competition where people pitch their business ideas, and there was a group of leaders. The mayor of Temecula was there, and several other folks, 5-judge panel. And we heard pitches focusing on technology originating from our area, and we picked a winner from the pitches we heard, and they go on to the regional competition and all that kind of stuff for a $10,000 prize. The winner we selected was a company named, if I want to say it right, Vinduino, and they've developed a new kind of irrigation, a computerized irrigation system especially for wineries, but other types of farming uses, and we found it to be the most meritorious, so they moved on in the competition. They didn't win with us. We didn't get to award any money, but ultimately they'll get to pitch, and I don't know how they did later on. Let's see, what else? So I attended the virtual community partners meeting with some of our business leaders, and we got an update from our community services department for the plans for summer camps that are going to happen this year around the city parks, and also pop-up classes, health classes are actually going to happen in person at the city parks this year. So excellent. I had an opportunity to meet the owners of the new Cherry Hills Plaza group. If you haven't heard, the Cherry Hills Plaza, where we have Myrna's and Provecho and those businesses, has been sold. There's a new ownership group, and I got to sit down and meet with those folks. That was a nice opportunity to see what's going to happen in the Cherry Hills Plaza section. And then finally, I want to commend our city engineering department. I've been working with them specifically to remove a traffic sign. If you go eastbound on Scott Road at the interchange and you want to get on the freeway going southbound at 215, there's a no right on red sign right before you get on the freeway. But there's no crossing traffic. You just stop for no reason and back up when you're not stopping for anybody. It was there because traffic used to go across, but it was put up by Caltrans, and it's a Caltrans right away. So we can't just go out there with a pair of pliers and take the thing down. We've got to work with Caltrans, and our engineering department is on it. And I just wanted to commend them for getting right on that. And I think that's all I got. I think I'm out. Thank you.
Great report. Thank you. Councilman Leesmeyer.
It's all right. And just piggybacking on your kudos to Public Works staff, kudos to Carlos and their team for fixing a couple of the out lights at the new Scott Road interchange. A couple of the lights from the new project were already out, and they went ahead and replaced those, working with the contractor pretty quickly. As far as reporting out, Councilmember Sobek and I attended the Public Safety Committee meeting. I'm sure she'll have some key points to talk about. A couple of takeaways for me were that the police department has been working with all the school districts to create a student resource officer program, and looking forward to working with our school districts to get the school resource officer moving, and it's a great resource to keep kids out of trouble. The ladder truck for our new fire department is supposed to be coming the second weekend of May. I know that the city of Temecula got theirs last week, and I've already seen it flying all over the city, so I'm very anxious to see our new one come in. This week is Victims Crime Week. I attended a Southwest Ledge Council meeting with a bunch of leaders from around the valley, and our district attorney, Mike Hestrin, gave a great presentation talking about victims' rights and specifically his unilateral effort to go after the fentanyl dealers that are out around the communities, and specifically trying to get murder charges to stick to those people, because as people know and have read in the media, fentanyl is a very dangerous drug, and one dose can kill. So kudos to our district attorney, Mike Hestrin. I think that's all I've got for now, Mayor.
All right, very good. And I appreciate, Councilman, that you gave such a good detailed report about public safety. I think it's really helpful for us to know about the things that you guys are learning there. And you know, I'm excited about that ladder truck, by the way, because here it is brand new. It's Measure DD money, and taxpayers paid for it. So hopefully we can get a little opportunity to showcase that and let people see that new thing. I don't know if there's photo ops or something that we can maybe do. All right, good. All right, thank you. I appreciate the great report. Councilman Dinas.
Thank you. On the 8th, Councilmember Sobek and I attended the Finance Committee meeting. At the meeting, the Finance Department discussed rebalancing the city's portfolio so we get some better returns. Right now, it's in a very low yielding investments that we'll see more returns on that, but keeping within our investment policy. Also, with that will come a revised investment report that shows more information. I think that's next month. Am I get that right? Next month. It'll be next month. So I've asked that we do more just a presentation by staff so you can kind of walk through it and understand that. So this will mean higher returns for our money that we have invested.
Thank you for doing that.
On the 9th then, the mayor and I attended the Menifee Community Advisory Board meeting for the Menifee Global Medical Center. And like just a few things. On that date that we met there, the Menifee Hospital actually had 0 patients for COVID. Their Hammett Hospital only had 3. Between the two hospitals, they provided 10,000 vaccinations. And they ended up being the 2nd largest clinic in the county when they provided all those shots. They did ask that we pass on that they encourage residents that if there's a medical need, that it's safe to go to the hospital, not put off the elective surgeries, or if you're feeling ill and you think you need to go to the emergency room, don't be afraid that it's safe. You know, their workers are working 20 hours a day during this, so they're gonna, sometime this summer, they'll have a heroes recognition event. And to Menifee's credit, there were a lot of businesses in the community that brought food and things like that to the staff on a regular basis. Even the Boys and Girls Club provided Valentine cards to staff there, handmade ones. So the hospital was well embraced by our residents, and they were very thoughtful of that. And they just want to make sure that our community knows that when it mattered the most, the hospital was there to serve.
Yeah, good.
And then finally, I was at the business spotlight with the mayor. That's all I have.
That's a great report. Thank you, Councilman Dinas. And Mayor Pro Tem Sobek.
Thank you, Mayor. Council members, I'd like you to know that I met with Magda Stewart, CEO of TIP. If you're not familiar, TIP is a trauma intervention program, and they work with our Menifee Police Department and Menifee CAL FIRE. They are looking for caring people willing to be part of the team of citizen volunteers trained to provide emotional and practical support to victims of a traumatic event. They only hold a training twice a year. It's coming up starting June 21st. And I know our Dominique, our PIO, thank you, is working on advertising that to our community. But they are a great resource to our Menifee Police Department and Fire Department if that is anybody's desire to be part of something like that. As Councilmember Dinas said, we did have a Finance Committee meeting, and we did, in that investment policy, it was suggested we bring that back to the whole council so everyone is aware of that update. The mayor and I and our city manager, Armando Villa, we met with our Senator, Relicia Ochoa-Bo, on a Zoom, and we were able to share with her the highlights of Menifee and what's going on here. I did have a follow-up phone call with her because our meeting got cut short and was able to share a few more things that we had wanted to share. So we're grateful that she made that time. She's looking forward to coming and meeting before the whole council in the near future. I participated in the RCHC, if you don't know what that is, Riverside County Habitat Conservation Authority. I participated in their filming for the 25th anniversary that's coming up in May, and they are looking at May being Conservation Appreciation Month, and we will be hearing more about that probably at a May City Council meeting. I also participated in a Menifee Better Together filming. We've got Menifee Better Together coming this weekend. All the volunteer spots are filled, and it is cut back this year. And Community Services has been working very hard on this Community Day of Cleanup where our citizens can come together and practice social distancing this year, but yet make a difference in our community. I attended as Councilmember Leesmeyer said, we'd had a public safety meeting, and I did notice that the summary wasn't on this agenda. It will be coming in our next city council agenda. So I wanted to let you know that. We receive information on public safety from the school districts, from the fire department, from the fire marshal's office, the police department, code enforcement, animal control, public works, and engineering. And a couple of highlights, yes, Councilmember Leesmeyer said we are getting our new ladder truck. So that will be coming in May. In the month of March, our fire department received 1,005 calls for service. Out of those, 738 were for medical, and 58 were public assist. So you can, there's just a lot of calls that go out and help our residents. Another highlight I wanted to share is from our police department. There's beat 1, 2, 3, and 4. Beat 4 continues to be the busiest beat. They had in March 3,943 calls for service, a daily average of 127 calls for service. Beat 4 is located in mostly District 1. Also, I wanted to give an update on the false alarms because we've heard a little bit about that as a council. In March, there were 243 alarm calls. Only one was not a false alarm call. So those false alarm calls are really draining our police response times. One concern I have, and I don't know if this might be in your summary, and I'm not sure, we are continuing to see how COVID has affected families because there are, on our arrest list, there's just a substantial number of domestic violence calls that they're going on. That's a big concern. And I appreciate our PIO putting out, after that meeting, putting out some public information for our residents to give help if anybody needs help for that. Also, on the citations were 331 citations that they given. So the weekly average is 75. So they're out on our streets trying to keep us safer. I think those were just some highlights that I wanted to share with the council.
And two new bikes. Two new bikes showed up yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So you might have seen it on Chief's Instagram. We got the 2 new motors, so there's 4 now.
Good.
Yay. Woohoo. Well, that is great to hear because we want to keep our streets safe. So public safety, I attended a Zoom Rotary meeting, and today I attended an RCA Executive Committee meeting. I attended also this afternoon a Zoom WRCOG Development and Sustainability Framework discussion. I would encourage, if any of our council members have not signed up for one of those discussions that's happening this month, please do. It's an opportunity for us to share our vision of what we think WRCOG's focus should be in our county. As of today, it's sad to report out, and I'd like to send my sympathy and condolences. We have now had 169 residents that have passed away from the coronavirus. And we are continuing to add those white doves to the Coronavirus Memorial and Peace Garden at Central Park. So I did want to thank our residents for being here, and also for the first time since we've had the Menifee Police Department here in a council chamber, we have a Menifee police officer who's here tonight, and I'd like to know his name.
My name is Ricky, ma'am.
Pardon me?
Ricardo Duran, but they call me Ricky.
Ricardo?
Officer Duran.
Officer Duran, welcome, and thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I'm going to try to go quick. This is a report since our last report out on April 7th. I did want to share with the council members that the Emergency Operation Committee that does meet every Thursday, we've decided, since COVID seems to be curtailing a bit, that we're going to meet every other Thursday instead. So not meeting as much since there's not too much activity that we have to make decisions on. I've also been attending Rotary Club, but I did miss the one with Ben Dietrich, our commissioner, so I'm sorry to have missed that one, but I continue to be the city's rep on Rotary Club. On the 9th, as Councilman Dynas said, KPC Global Medical Centers Advisory Board meeting, and I just want to kind of echo that staff went through heck during November and December. They talked about the triage that was taking place there. The lobby was full of beds. The community room that's larger than this room was jam-packed. The top floor where they're doing construction was repurposed into a triage unit, and the big problem was trying to get oxygen and ventilators, and the difficulty of having to face family members that were there to see loved ones and they couldn't get in, and it took a emotional toll. And as Mr. Baranoff, the CEO over there, was telling us about some of that, he got emotional, and so did his staff. And I'm just thankful that we're beyond that now and at a place where they don't have to deal with that anymore. And so our superheroes are those folks who provide medical care to the community, and we're fortunate to have a hospital in our city to take care of the folks that are here. So I just kind of wanted to add to that, but it's good that we're meeting again and being able to be a part of that collaboration. And as Mayor Pro Tem mentioned, we did meet with Senator Ochoa Bogue, we thought we were going to meet for an hour, and Armando kind of gave a half an hour presentation, his part, and then she had to go. And we were like, but. So anyway, she did say, let's get back together again. And as Mayor Pro Tem said, it would be best to have her just come and spend some time with all the council members, so get to know her. We have some legislative things that we're going to be asking her to, represent us on, and so it's good for her to have an open ear and understand Menifee. We're on the southern end of her district. All right, as Councilman Carwin said, we did do the Meet the Leaders event in Sun City, and I agree with you. It's great to be able to connect with the folks over there, and the questions were a little brutal, but we think we kept it professional. And I just want to thank the chief for being a part of that, because most of the questions, he was the one that was in the hot seat the most. We did have a community partners meeting that Chelsea Bollinger did from our Parks Department, and it was nice to have all of the various service organizations in town be there to share some of the things that are happening. I joined Mayor Pro Tem Sobek. You forgot to mention Student of the Month, and so this last month we did have Student of the Month. And if you want to share some of the names, maybe I'll come back to you on that when we're done. I did attend our RCTC commission. Some of the things we did there was we were talking about the 60 freeway through the Badlands, and that project is about halfway completed now. It's very difficult because the slope stability is the issue, and it keeps wanting to come down, and so they can't open those lanes.
I've heard some stories.
Yeah, so it's just it's like all alluvium, and so they can't compact it. And then there's also so we approved some fast track and the 91 and 15 extensions of the toll lanes as well. So those of you who commute to Orange County from here, you'll appreciate some of the things that are coming to probably be in the next 3 to 5 years by the time that gets extended. But it should get down to Lake Elsinore, where they're working on Railroad Canyon exit right now as well. So trying to keep people and mobility. All right. The Chamber hosted a virtual tour on the 14th, and it was of MSJC's Makerspace. It was kind of nice. They walked us around and showed us all of the laser cutting equipment that they have and all those. I think you did attend, yeah. So that was kind of nice to be a part of, and to see our chamber kind of starting back up again. They kind of had slowed down for a while there, but it looks like we're getting back in business, and so it was enjoyable. On Saturday 17th, the Boys and Girls Club hosted a team building training event. It was at Impact Church right down the street here. And our Chief Walsh was in attendance, and so was I. And that was just a great opportunity to be able to kind of learn about working together as a team and collaborating. And I wanted to thank Craig Cooper. He's the owner of Menifee Bicycles. He donated 10 bicycles, and that was one of the team building efforts. We were all given a box, and we broke up into these groups and had to assemble a bike. And they were observing how we did it and who took the leadership role and who pushed others out of the way. Each group got one tool, a bag full of screwdrivers, and then the next group's got a bag full of wrenches. So we had to figure out, oh my gosh, we need to go and trade tools with the other groups and all that. So it was just kind of an enjoyable event. So I want to thank him for that, and thank Boys and Girls.
I don't think you can underestimate the donation that he gave there. I mean, when you and I went there and we gave him I think we gave him a grant check, right?
Yes, $5,000.
And he was talking about how little supply there were for bikes because of COVID, and he was having a very hard time getting those bikes. So that's a great contribution. So yeah, thank you, Craig.
And he paid for the speaker. It was a business that comes and does team building, and Craig paid the bill for that. So thank you, Menifee Bicycles. Thank you, Craig Cooper. Elevation Church had their 10-year anniversary this last weekend. Mayor Pro Tem and I attended that as well, and I'll let her share some more when she does her follow-up report out. But that was very nice. It's 10 years. They've been in Sun City, right there by where the hardware store is, and Pastor Casey Crawford's building a wonderful congregation over there, and so it's just nice to spend a little time with them and congratulate them. Today I had a collaboration meeting that was hosted by the League of Cities, and it was for all of the mayors in the Riverside area, and we had Assemblyman Chad Mays as the guest speaker. And I'm just going to tell you, he gave some legislative updates, and then he opened it up, and he kind of heard a lot from the mayors representing their cities, including me, to share our concerns about local control and about the state's RENA requirements and all those kinds of things. So he's well armed with some information there, and hopefully that's something that in the future we can kind of work on. So I just want to share with you that. You guys, I am looking forward to this Saturday. It is the Menifee Better Together event. And it's a great event. We work with Waste Management to do some cleanup efforts, and so that's going to be wonderful. I did get a call from our Senior Advisory Committee Chair, Ms. Sanchez, and she asked me to announce that next month is going to be Older Citizens Awareness Month, and so, Madam Clerk, if we can maybe make that an official recognition.
Yeah, it's on the calendar to come to council.
Okay, very good. And is she going to come and share, or what's the plan?
Yes, I'll work that out with them.
Okay,
yes.
excellent. Thank you very much. And then I did want to do one more update to the council. We've been working with the League of Cities, and remember they had asked for a volunteer city to host, and so we raised our hand and said we'd do it, and we were assigned next month to be the host. However, Sarah and I kind of talked a little bit about the fact that here we have this Fairfield Hotel with this great big conference center. We're dying to use it for something. So we asked Aaron Sassy if we can push our date a little bit later. So hopefully later this year, we can be the host in person at our new venue there and be able to showcase that. So I just want to let you guys know that she found another city to take the May event. So
Great.
just do a quickie update there on that in case you're wondering what's going on. But I can't wait to use our new Fairfield Conference Center. It's got a beautiful waiting room and lobby and all of that. It's just, it's awesome, and we haven't been able to use it yet. So now I'm going to turn it back over to Mayor Pro Tem to add some.
And thank you for mentioning this. I cannot believe I forgot the wonderful April Students of the Month. It's the last one for the year. After this, they'll have Student of the Year, I believe. But at Paloma Valley High School was Rachel Laird. Paris Lake High School was Travis Cobb. Paris High School was Maya Almeida. And then Heritage High School, which is also in the city of Menifee, besides Paloma, it was Naira Martinez. And the one word that I took away hearing from those students and their stories from this year was resilience. That was truly the one word that I took away, and I thought, hearing these youth and their attitude of what they have gone through and the positive thoughts that they experience, we are in good hands with these youth, our future leaders. So I just congratulate these 4 seniors being recognized from their high schools.
I agree. And did you want to mention something about elevation?
You mentioned it, so we were there.
All right, very good. Okay, we're going to move on. We are now on our we're on approval of our minutes. This is item 9, and this is for the minutes from April 7th, 2021. Do we have any changes to that, council members? Hearing none, all in favor of approval say aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, our minutes are approved unanimously. We're going to move to item 10. This is our consent calendar. All matters on the consent calendar are to be approved in one motion unless a council member requests a separate action on a specific item on the consent calendar. If an item is removed from the consent calendar, it'll be discussed individually and acted upon separately. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comments on our consent calendar items tonight?
No, I do have a request to speak on item 10.12, and I also failed to mention before there is correspondence in your red folders for item 10.12 as well.
Okay, so Madam Clerk, if there is a request to speak on that item, do you read that now?
Yes, I have, I believe Manisha Jones is via Zoom or phone call.
Okay, and she is our new chamber CEO. Ms. Jones, are you with us?
I am. How are you?
We hear you, yeah. So the floor is yours.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the opportunity to comment on Senate Bill 314, Bar and Restaurant Recovery Act. My name is Manisha Jones. I'm Executive Director of the Menifee Valley Chamber of Commerce. And I would just like to present a quick statement on behalf of the Chamber's Board Chair, Terry Tate-Meyer, and the entire board. We support this Senate bill on behalf of our Menifee bar and restaurants, and not only for those establishments who are members of the Chamber, but also for those who are not. While we understand and appreciate the delicate balance and taking into consideration the safety and welfare of the residents of Menifee, supporting this bill will allow for restaurants and bars to recover some of what they've lost and continue to thrive in our community. So this is an opportunity to show these businesses we believe in their complete recovery, and we will help them stay in our fine city. So thank you so much for your time and consideration in this matter.
All right, thank you, Ms. Jones. We appreciate your your comment there on that. Madam Clerk, any other emailed or on the line or in-person comments?
No other comments.
All
for
right, thank you
consent.
very much. All right, council members, do we have any items that we'd like to pull from consent calendar for discussion?
10.12.
Okay, 1012 from Mayor Pro Tem. Any others? Can I get a motion to approve the balance, please?
So moved.
Second.
All right, Madam Clerk, are we doing electronic?
Yes,
vote?
it'll be just
All right.
2 seconds. Okay, there we go. You should see it now. Open vote.
Matt, you need to vote again.
And do you see the results?
I do. That passed unanimously, so thank you very much. Let's go ahead and take that pulled agenda item 10.12. Mayor Pro Tem, did you want a report
No.
or just a question?
Yeah, I don't need a report. I just wanted to, when this came before us, I was a little bit concerned. Under paragraph 7, it talked about any person possessing an open container of alcoholic beverage in any county-owned public place as specified, or regional park or recreation park district is guilty of an infraction in the city or county, has enacted an ordinance that prohibits the possession of those containers and consumption alcohol. The bill would authorize the city, including a charter city, county, or city and county, to allow the commercial zone to the consumption of alcoholic beverages, including the possession of an open container of an alcoholic beverage. So I was a little bit concerned. So I did do a little research on it and found that our city ordinances supersede this. So like if we have a family-friendly event, which I know this is to help restaurants recover, that if we have a family-friendly event, we can still contain and not allow people to walk around with open containers where there's a family-friendly event. So that made me feel better. But I do feel like that the restaurant revitalization program will also help our businesses recover. And there is a sunset on this, so I was happy to see that. It's only going to be for 1 year. But I did want to make acknowledgement also that the letter of support, I felt like we should include our senator and not a senator of another district. So it's on here as Melissa Melendez, and maybe out of respect, we should send a copy to Rosalicia Ochoa Bowe.
Yes.
So that would be my
We
one.
will update that, yes.
Okay.
And
So
just in case you were wondering, I did check in with Rosalicia Ochoa Bogue, and she does support this.
I did
Check with her
talk,
today.
I talked with her yesterday and today. Thank you. So doing a little research on it, she also did a little research on it. We were a little concerned about the open container and the unintended consequences of how maybe someone living on a street takes advantage of that. So that was a concern. So that could become an unintended consequence without realizing it with this. So that would definitely affect our police department. But in this case, to help the recovery efforts, I'll go ahead and vote to pass it.
Okay, and as the clerk mentioned, we did have one letter sent to us on this item from Mr. Klein, so just a reminder, it's in our red folder. All right, any other comments on this item? And Mayor Pro Tem, did you move to approve that?
I
second.
did. And I want to thank our senator for being so accessible with this.
That's nice.
Can I do a voice vote on that?
Okay,
Councilmember Carwin,
Aye.
Councilmember Leesmeyer,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Sobek,
Yes.
Councilmember Dynas,
Aye.
Mayor Zimmerman.
aye, that passes unanimously, so we are now moving to item 11. This is public hearing, and I see that there are no public hearing items, so let's go to 12 discussion items. This is our city council recognition policy. Mr. City Manager, would you introduce the staff that's going to present?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. You do have in front of you a recognition policy that spells out considerations for certificate appreciations, certificates of achievement, outstanding citizens award. And at this point, I'd like to ask our city clerk to help us overview this with the council. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and City Council. The item before you is the City Council recognition policy. Now that the city is permitting in-person council meetings again, staff thought it would be good timing to bring this back for council to finalize and approve the policy. So a little background on this. The City Council provides recognitions as certificates, proclamations, and also the Outstanding Citizen Award. Council members have the discretion to issue certificates for those in their district, or if in another district, with the council members' consent from which the certificate is being presented. There are two types of proclamations. There's a mayor-signed proclamation as well as a council-approved proclamation. The mayor has the authority to approve and sign the issuance of a proclamation, or a council member, with the support of a second council member, may put it on the agenda for approval and presentation. And from council feedback at in September 2020, the Outstanding Citizen Award has been amended to better facilitate the program. I did want to point out that the current council recognition policy and procedures are listed in the City Council Rules of Decorum and Procedure. So staff has extracted that, created a separate policy for recognitions, and coming soon in the future, staff will bring back the decorum and procedure policy to make sure that's updated as well. So last year, as I said, the council did discuss the recognition policy, and the feedback was applied in this current policy. Specifically, council decided to amend the Outstanding Citizen Award program with a rotating nomination process. Each council member will have 2 months per year to make a nomination, and the mayor will have 3 months, and that will leave the month of January to present the Outstanding Citizen of the Year. The council also agreed to better define the eligibility qualifications and the Citizen of the Year selection process. Also updated in this policy was the option to include emphasis on arts and culture, citizenship, or professional achievements in the certificates. Due to the pandemic, we put a hold on public recognitions. As we saw tonight, we were able to bring some back. But now that the public is permitted in council chambers, if the council wishes, we can start the Outstanding Citizen program back up next month, which would mean May is District 3. Policy procedures, as they were listed before. Requests should be made at least 2 weeks prior to the date needed to allow staff time to prepare. It's been a busy last couple months with a lot of certificates, so we've been getting those out. And sufficient information should be provided so that we can prepare those certificates according to the recognition. And they should be vetted through the appropriate council member. So I do receive requests directly to me, and I will forward those to the appropriate council member or directly to the mayor, depending on what that recognition is. And then also, the council member should determine whether it's going to be presented at a council meeting or at a special event that's been requested, or we can also mail it if they request. Also listed in this policy are recognition restrictions. The policy prohibits supporting, promoting, or otherwise endorsing for-profit business as an advertisement or commercial promotion, matters of political or religious nature, event or organization with no direct relationship to the city of Menifee, and also prohibits campaigns or events contrary to city policies and the city's mission. So staff's recommendation is to discuss and approve the policy, and also let me know if you agree to bringing back the Outstanding Citizen program next month, and I can work on that.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. Good presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Actually, let's start with questions and no discussion, and then we'll take public comments if there are any. So do we have any questions, council members, as proposed here? I do see a question from Mayor Pro Tem first, and then we'll take you, Dean.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want clarification on the certificates. In the past, we had certificates of appreciation and achievement. So are we expanding that now to arts, culture, citizenship, and professional achievement? Can be any of them? Can be any of those?
Correct. Yes. It will still be the appreciation or achievement, and then we are creating a template that emphasizes those categories. So in this category, you're being recognized.
Okay. So, okay. All right. Okay.
Okay, Councilman Dinas?
Yes, on the Outstanding Citizen Award program, this is silent on to whether the public can offer up a name or not, because now all the months are taken by council members.
So that's how the
So do we not decide not to allow residents then to?
They can approach their council person.
Okay, it'd be nice if that was spelled out so that's it's known that, that we do encourage public to bring forward names if there's someone that's worthy of it.
Sure.
So,
okay, I can add that.
On the restrictions, I had one question here. The I got a couple actually. The for-profit business, I guess, is we don't want to. I mean, we just had the business spotlight. That's kind of a recognition in and of itself. I'm trying to figure out how a certificate, if it, say like the bicycle, like Menifee Bicycle, they just donated all those bikes, but they're a for-profit, and would that fall in or out of this criteria as to what we can or can't recognize because they are for-profit? But it kind of, to me, it seems like a gray area. Same thing with the political and religious nature. Say Church Aid, out down there on their own goes and does, hands out, food or clothing, or maybe some kind of a natural disaster. There, people are out there making sure that people are housed and things like that. It benefits the community and has nothing to do with the religious aspect, but they're just helping the community. Would that also be then eliminated from being able to be recognized?
I'll take that one, Councilman Dinas. You hit the nail on the head. There's a difference between recognizing contributions on the one hand and doing advertisement and promotion on the other hand. And this is for the former category. And the fact that you're a private business, like a bike shop or a bike repair company, if you're out there doing great community works that are worthy of recognition, the recognition is inbounds. Just the same, if you're a religious organization and you're out there doing, important contributions, you're part of the Interfaith Council and you're participating in Menifee Better Together or whatever the thing might be, you are eligible for recognition. We just don't want the program, and it's important for us for legal reasons to make sure that the program doesn't become promotional, like advertising and promotion as opposed to recognition.
Great. I just want to make sure that is our intent on this, even though it's silent on it, that, you know, now that's on the record, we know that that's the reason behind it and what we can and can't do, as opposed just to assuming it. Okay, thank you. That's it.
And so I guess on follow-up, can or should we put, trying to do it in a question, under the recognition restrictions, can we put a little caveat in there, exactly what you just said, Mr. Melching, that, you know, the intent is to not be promotional, but to be in recognition in nature. Can we maybe add something to that? Because over the years, the council will change, and we wouldn't want anybody to take advantage of the program.
Yeah. So for A, where it says for-profit businesses as an advertisement or commercial promotion, we could put comma as opposed to recognition of toward community contributions. And then we would retool the language in B, which speaks about political and religious, to mirror the approach in A, because A already talks about promotion. I mean, it's a really good foundation for covering this point. And so we would just basically have B align with A.
Okay, thank you.
City Manager, did you want to share?
Yeah, I was noticing that we have a section, first section is called purpose. Perhaps we can add some verbiage that says recognition purposes only and not for promotional purposes.
Okay, so recognition, not promotion. Yep. Good. That'd be, I think that's the right adjustment. Okay, any other questions, council members? Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak on this item?
There are no requests to speak.
Okay, and just one other question from me. You will be coming back to us with a formal approval with a whole new policy?
Yes, I can formalize this, and I'll probably just bring it back as a consent calendar item so you guys can all see the
Okay, and
final.
do we need to also formally amend the decorum policy with since this has been taken out?
Yes, I'm going to bring that back at another time. It's actually a good time for the council to review all of it. There's probably some updates that we can
Some other
do to
changes.
that too. So,
All right, very good. Any other discussion, council members?
Yeah, just one discussion item on this, and it may not have anything to do with this. I mentioned it to Armando yesterday, but I don't remember what we ended up saying. The committee who chooses the Citizen of the Year. I remember when Earl Phillips was on the committee, and he said, I wish that we had a list of criteria that we're looking at as we choose the Citizen of the Year from these 12. So I don't know if we need to add it to this for the Citizen of the Year when that committee is established, that they have a little bit of a guideline to be able to choose that Citizen of the Year.
I apologize. There was something put together. I think it came back. It was attached the last time this was presented in last September. It wasn't attached to this one, so I will include that in the final policy. Yes.
I'm glad I asked that question. Okay, thank
Good.
you.
I think we're at that point where we need a motion.
Make a motion. We approve the new, what is it called here?
I'll second.
Council Certificates Recognition Program.
Okay. Lisa, can you hit that yay one more time? All right, and that passes unanimously. It moves us now to item 13, City Attorney. Do you have any reports, sir?
Not tonight,
Nothing.
Mayor.
Okay, and City Manager, any updates for us?
No updates, but I do have a couple of things to talk to the council about. Today's a very special day. Today is National Administrative Professionals Appreciation Day. So I just want to take a moment to recognize all of our staff here at City Hall, our PD, our community services facilities, for their hard work. Without them, we we wouldn't do what we do. So I want to take a moment to appreciate and applaud their efforts here at the city.
Yes.
Second of all, today is also a very special day. It is Sarah, our city clerk's birthday.
Oh, that's
So I want to wish her a happy birthday today.
Happy birthday.
And that's all
Thank
I
you.
have, Mr. Mayor.
Can we sing happy birthday?
Do you want to
Sarah?
sing?
Yes.
Yes, let's sing.
Can you just do a solo?
No, I won't do a solo because I know you sing and I know Robert Carwin
There we
sings.
go.
He
We
can do
did
a solo.
duet then.
But I'd like to sing. Can we sing happy birthday to Sarah?
Go, you lead the
All
way.
right, ready? Happy
Happy birthday.
Day to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Sarah. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're now legal working with.
Yes, yes. Exactly.
All right. Happy birthday, Sarah. Okay, so now we are on future agenda requests from council members. Do we have anything, council members? Councilman Carwin.
I do, thank you. It was brought to my attention that there is a part of our municipal code that I think might need some revision. When the city was incorporated, we adopted County Ordinance number 760 as part of our municipal code, which covers mobile home park rent stabilization. And the problem is that the code says administration of this ordinance shall be under the general direction of the Riverside County Mobile Home Ordinance Director, but the city never created a director for administering it within the city. And this was back in 2008. Who knows how many times it's been amended on the county part. And it was brought to my attention there was a citizen who was trying to get something done through there. It turns out that the city has absolutely no mechanism for administering this code section. And there's a communication, the city thinks that it's the California Housing and Community Development Department is authorizing it. We contacted them, they said no. So what I would like as a future, I know that the city staff is working on going through all of the holes in our municipal code. There was a whole list of things that we just adopted from the county, and then they just sat there in our code. But I wanted to make a future agenda item specifically on this because there's some concerns with some of the mobile home park residents about rent control and things like that, that there's nobody administering it, and some amendments that they want to discuss with whoever the body is. I don't want to talk about the amendments, but I would just like the staff to review this ordinance, report back to us about what they find about the holes in the ordinance, and then make recommendations on how we can fix it, whether that's through an amendment or through a rescission or through a replacement language, something like that. So it's a motion for a future agenda item to review, report, and recommend on this code section.
I'll second that.
All right.
I have a future agenda item.
And then Mayor Pro Tem Sobek.
Okay. I would like to invite a presentation to be made before the City Council from the Riverside Justice System. And we talked about that at our public safety meeting. Chief Walsh sits on that committee.
Oh,
And
right.
you-
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
It
Wake
wasn't-
up.
Yeah, second. It wasn't connecting.
Yes, so we thought that that would be a good presentation to find out a little bit more about what they do and help us out here.
Would that be the district attorney or who would?
I would let
Pat's got it.
All right.
Pat's got it.
So
Second.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll add that as well. Any other future agenda requests? Hearing none, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming. We are adjourned.